This is a story about the human race. A kingdom divided. Jesus said, any kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. A house divided cannot stand. What is it about the human race as a species? Our advances in technology are used for the military-industrial complex in order to destroy ourselves. It doesn't make sense. Something's wrong. What would make brother turn against brother? Why would a species destroy itself? How could a species lock their own kind in concentration camps, do experiments on their own kind? Something's wrong. There's a plan for world depopulation. The New World Order has planned it. Who is this New World Order? Who are they? What is their purpose? How did it start? Where did it come from? We don't know. A lot of these answers are only answered in the Bible. The knowledge of the tree of good and evil. The Bible said, I will put enmity between the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman. Seeds reference DNA. Different species. DNA carries all our genetic material to reproduce a species, but if DNA is split, what would be the result? Who made the pyramids? Where did they come from? Were these the sons of God mentioned in the Bible? Did they bring the code of death? Did they split our DNA? Did they duplicate our DNA, and did they add their own DNA? The Bible tells a story in Genesis 6. It says that they did. It says the fallen angels had sex with human women and created the Nephilim. Who were they? Who is the Nephilim? What is the end result? Is the end result a kingdom that's divided against itself? The book of Daniel tells us another clue. It said the last kingdom, they shall mix themselves with the seed of men. What would be the outward manifestation of this? Would there be signs, something we could see with our own eyes right in front of our face? So obvious, hidden in plain sight, that it became invisible, right in front of our faces, as we walk around in a deep sleep, unable to see it, unable to recognize it. Would this be the recombinant DNA putting back together of another species, one mixed with another? Who are they? Who are we? Where are we going as a species? This video is to answer those questions, and the only answers are in the Bible. Are we the B'nai Elohim? Are we a kingdom divided? Are the wars within us? Isaiah said, those who try and hide their plans from the Lord are doomed. They carry out their schemes in secret. Think no one will see them or know what they are doing. They turn everything upside down. Hey everybody, here we go. This is it. This is the disclosure. For those of you guys that have seen a lot of the videos, a lot of this we're going over some territory. But for those of you that haven't, this is a spiritual gift that's going to shed light on the world that you live in and what's going on and the fix for it and how to make your peace with God, because there's a time coming that's in front of us that's so serious and so severe that trying to hold on to your flesh is not what you want to do. You want to make that transition, and you want to make your transition to Jesus Christ into full forgiveness and full redemption in Christ. So that's what this is about, and this is about a spiritual gift. I want to read to you real quick from Ephesians 5:14. It says, "Awake. Awake, O sleeper, rise up from the dead, and Christ will give you light." I think it's a fascinating scripture, because it's telling us that we're dead, and that arise from the dead, and Christ will give you light. I think it's just absolutely amazing, because that proves that we're walking dead. We're literally walking dead. Okay, I want to read from John 8:32. It says, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." When you guys watched the beginning of this this intro, you guys saw something I want to draw your attention to. You see this? This is DNA. This is a pyramid that's splitting the DNA in half. And then as you watch this, it's going to split the DNA in half, and it's going to continue, and it's going to continue forward, and it's going to replicate the DNA. The reason those images are there is to show you the pyramids. There's a pyramid here, there's pyramids here, and there was also a pyramid splitting the DNA. I want to talk to you about the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel says the last kingdom of the world will be the miry clay. It's Daniel 2:43. Will be the miry clay mixed with the iron. And it says, "And they shall mingle themselves together with the seed of men." Okay, that's the last kingdom. I want to use the word kingdom. Think of the word kingdom. So in Daniel 2:43, if we have the miry clay mixed with iron, we have a combination of something. Miry clay mixed with iron. So we got two different things mixed together. It even says they will not cleave to one another. It says, "And in the last kingdom of the world, the miry clay mixed with iron, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they will not cleave together." Jesus said, any kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So we know that if you're a kingdom divided, you're brought to desolation. I'm bearing witness to the abomination that causes desolation, and I'm bearing witness to the destruction of the temple, and I'm going to prove it to you. Well, when I say I'm going to prove it to you, I'm humbly just saying I'm going to let the Lord use the spiritual gifting He's given me to show you. I'm not going to try and say I'm going to prove to you. I'm just going to let you guys see what the Lord's shown me, and you guys decide for yourself. Okay, that's the best way to put it. I want to talk about us being the temple. When they were trying to convict Jesus, of blasphemy and put Him to death, in Mark 14 it says, "We heard Him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands." Okay, that's Mark 14. So we know that Jesus was talking about His body. Jesus answered, and this is John 2, Jesus answered and said unto them, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." Then the Jews said, okay, remember this number, everybody. The Jews said 46 years was this temple in the building. 46 years was this temple in the building. That's the number of chromosomes in human DNA, 46. And wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? Okay. But he spake of his temple, the body, his body. So we're told right there in Scripture that Jesus obviously wasn't going to build a building. He was talking about
he would raise his body up in 3 days to show that he was truly God in the flesh. 1 Corinthians 3 says, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple, him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem him to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Maybe that's my number one qualification for doing this, is that I've become a fool. And I'm willing to become a fool. I'm totally willing to become a fool so I can give everybody this information for, whatever anybody wants to think. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. So I'm going to X this out. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to talk about the abomination that causes desolation. And as far as being able to point, my pointer on this computer it changes once I go into the screen. It's a pointer out here on the outside, but once it goes into the screen, we lose it. So I'm going to use this as a pointer. This is the head of an alien. You guys saw this in the intro. And here's the alien's head. Here's his eye, his nose, and his mouth right there, frowny mouth. Here's the top of his head. Okay, now we're going to come over here and we're going to look at this kid. There's a kid, his eye is looking this way, and there's his nose and mouth. Now watch this. I'm going to cover up the kid's nose. Now you're looking at a sheep that's looking towards me, and here's the eye of the sheep, and the nostrils of the sheep, and the mouth open, and the tongue hanging out. You saw that put together on the intro very quickly when I painted it all in. Okay, there's also a reptile that's in the kid's head, and we're going to look at that in just a minute. But I wanted to show you this alien that is standing here holding a kid that's got an elongated skull. The kid's skull has a dead sheep and a reptile in the fetal position, and this becomes a reptile egg. So that kid's head is the head of a reptile. And that's kind of hard to believe, but that's what it is. So we're going to take a quick look, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to show you image after image. If I can get this to stop. There we go. Okay, let's look at an image of a dead sheep, and let's start applying the spiritual gifting. Here's an image of a sheep with its tongue sticking out, and I can increase the size on that a little bit for you guys. Let's see. Let's go to about 200. There we go. Okay, here's the image of the sheep. Here's his eye, and there's his other eye. I always start with the eyes. Eye. Here's the top of the head coming down to the ear. Here's the hair in the ear. Coming down to the other ear. Here's the hair in the ear. Coming down the forehead to the eyes. Coming down the cheeks to the nostrils. Nostrils cleft in the lips. And the tongue sticking out. Okay. Isaiah 29 says, those who try and hide their plans from the Lord are doomed. They carry out their schemes in secret and think no one will see them or know what they are doing. They turn everything upside down. So I'm going to scroll here for a minute, and we're going to get to this image again. And I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. There's a lot of stuff on here, guys. And I can scroll slowly or try. There we go. There you go. So here's an image of a dead sheep, but here's an image of the virgin. Now let me show you where that was taken from, so we eliminate people trying to... I don't care about the scoffers, but I don't want people to have to struggle with the idea, well, who drew that image? This was taken from a calendar. Let me show you where I took it from. Okay, here we go. And I just put it in black and white for you. And there we go. Here's the image of the sheep with its tongue sticking out. There's the eye, the nostrils, and the tongue sticking out. Here's the top of the head going down to the ear. But when you look at it this way, you know, it's supposed to be some angel standing in front of the virgin. There's a lot going on in this image. There's actually even a woman being raped that's off to the side. But I didn't put it in there. I don't want to look at all that. We're just going to stay focused on what we're looking at. Okay, so there we have an application of Isaiah 29. So we're trying to, I'm trying to show you guys that there's a hidden world in front of your face and how to recognize it. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So let me drop this out to its regular percentage. There we go. And you know what? Let me enlarge that so we don't get a glare. How's that, Kurt? Is that okay? Okay, so we have all these images of sheep with their tongues sticking out. I'm just going to put this on the screen for a second. This is another image of the Virgin de Guadalupe. This thing is so filthy and so dirty, I will not even show it to people. It's absolutely lewd and foul. It's the Virgin de Guadalupe, and when you turn it upside down, you can see there are the eyes and the mouth. It makes the devil. There's the mouth, the eyes. There's a woman being raped. There's little children being raped by a Catholic priest, and there's just some very foul stuff. But we're not going to go into that. We're going to continue with the disclosure of sheep, goats, and serpents eating sheep, because that's what this is all about, and that's what we're going to bring forth here. I'm going to show it to you guys all over the place. You're going to freak out. I'm going to show it to you in movies right in front of your face. I'm going to show it to you in a bunch of random things. If we could go up here, and I just want to show you guys all this and all these things, and I'm going to put this up here too. I'm going to show you that every one of these random items, every one of them is identical. They all have the same thing going on, which is unbelievable. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so I'm going to set this down here, and let's start right here with the sheep. Okay, this is really fascinating stuff. Here we go. Here's a sheep. Jesus said, "I will judge between one sheep and another, separating the sheep from the goats." Matthew 25. Ezekiel 34:17. "I will judge, thus saith the sovereign Lord, the Lord of hosts. I will judge between one sheep and another, separating the sheep from the goats." Okay, so here's a sheep. There's his eye right here, and here's a teardrop coming out of his eye. Okay, here's top of his head. There's the ear coming down. Let's go down to the nose right there. There's the nose. There's the mouth. There's the bottom jaw. There's the neck. So there's the sheep. Now, let's look at the serpent eating the sheep. I showed you guys the serpent in the intro. But let's look at the serpent eating the sheep. The serpent's upside down. So let's come down the serpent's back right here. Coming down the serpent's back to the serpent's head. There's the serpent's eye right there. And here's the serpent's nose. And there's his jaw wide open, eating the sheep. Okay, now let's just do this a little bit. And I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit for you guys. We're going to take it slow, guys, because we got to get this disclosure right. We got to get it right the first time. Here's the sheep. Chris, I don't know if maybe you pull out or zoom out a little bit. Is that too big in the screen or no? It's good. Okay, here we go. Here's the eye of the sheep coming down the nose. Here's the mouth of the sheep, the bottom jaw, the lip, going down the neck. Here's the serpent's eye. Look at that. There's the eye of the serpent. This is very important right here, these lines right here. See all these lines in the discoloration? How it's colored darker? That shows the mouth stretching open. When a serpent opens his mouth, there's, it stretches the skin, and some skin pulls together and some skin pulls apart. And so you get a coloration thing. That's very easily recognizable right here. So here's the back of the serpent's head going down, and then there's the serpent's jaw. So we got the serpent eating the sheep. Let me drop down the size again, and I want to show you guys this. This is just amazing. I mean, this is just so amazing. Okay, let me show you something. This is a card a friend of mine gave, someone who was very close to me. It's an image of a serpent eating a sheep. Right here, Chris, I want to hold on to this for a sec. There you go. I thought I heard a little noise in the background, but it already got taken care of. Here's a sheep's eye. Here's a sheep's nose. Here's the mouth. Here's the neck. And here's the eye of the serpent right here. And look, follow the line. That's the mouth of the serpent opening up. There you go. Eating the sheep. Okay, this is a Leaning Tree greeting card. This is a greeting card that you get from the store. I want to just show you. This is not something anyone made up. This is something you buy at the store. So why would something that you buy at the store have a serpent that's eating a sheep? That's very, very, very odd. Okay, well, let's take this and we're going to put it back up here, and we're just going to continue, and we're going to take this real quick down here. Okay, I'll let you get a shot of that, Chris, real quick. And then I'm going to scroll down. There we go. And we're going to get this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put this back up, and let's look at another sheep. This is a Mayan sheep. There we go. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Here's the Mayan version of a sheep. There's the eye and the eye, eye and the eye, eye and the eye. Here's the ears going out here and here. Here's coming down the face, right here, to the